there are 5 pillars that your entrepreneurial success as a business owner are built on. This is what I consider the foundation. My name is Michael Budensiek. I help entrepreneurs and business owners solve their problems through co-creation of agreed upon solutions. And these problems allow us to unlock new levels that ultimately drive more revenue, more connection in your business, and ultimately a happier, healthier life, right? So the 5 pillars, what are these 5 pillars? Why are these 5 pillars important? Well, I believe that every entrepreneur, business owner, you're taking a risk in your life, right? To see a desired outcome or a dream. And because of that, you need a foundation that you believe in. You need a foundation to live your life on. You need a foundation to build this dream upon, because if you don't have this foundation, ultimately it'll just crumble, crack, break, and so on. And so we have 5 pillars: leadership, communication, expectation, success, and health. Now, when I say success, I mean defining success. And a lot of times people, when I first talk to them about this, they'll say, "Oh yeah, I think I could be a good leader. I mean, I don't have a lot of leadership experience, or I could maybe communicate a little better, or yeah, I do a pretty good job setting expectations for others." And I always encourage them to take a step back, because here's the deal: if you can't lead, communicate, and expect from yourself, you can't define success for yourself, and you can't create health for yourself. So all of these things, these 5 pillars, are all about self. Sure, yes, it absolutely bleeds into others, but as one individual improves, so does everything else. So you, as the entrepreneur, as the business owner, as you improve, as you get better at leading yourself, communicating with yourself, setting expectations for yourself, and living up to each of those levels, you can then more clearly define success and ultimately have a healthier, balanced life. Now, a lot of times people say, "Oh, well, do you mean physical health?" I don't necessarily mean physical health from a standpoint of working out and having a balanced lifestyle. Sure, are those things beneficial? Yes. But I also mean mental health. I mean relational health. I mean health in your business financially. I'm not just saying you need health from a standpoint of fitness. You need health all the way around. You need to have healthy leadership, healthy communication, healthy expectations. You need to have a healthy definition of success. Now, a lot of people will say, well, where do I start? Right? Where can I start with leading myself? Where can I start with communicating with myself? Well, first you have to ask yourself, how do I lead myself now? Do I lead myself in the direction of my goal, or do I allow myself to be distracted? Do I allow myself to be thrown off course by the slightest blow of a breeze or a wind that may come my way, an unfortunate event that may come my way? If you cannot lead yourself through the storm, how do you expect to lead others through the storm? Now, I don't mean yourself. I don't mean lead yourself as in don't have a mentor, don't have a coach, don't have a guide. I don't mean that. I mean, if you can't make the choice and take the step, how can you inspire and encourage someone on your team or who is working with you, or someone you are trying to help? How can you encourage and inspire them to take this step? Communication of self with self essentially is this idea of, how do I talk to myself? Am I positive? Am I negative? If you negatively communicate with yourself, do you think that you're actually going to positively communicate with others? If you don't clearly communicate with yourself, do you think you're going to clearly be able to communicate with others? Expectations, same idea, right? It's like this idea of, well, what's an expectation? Well, an expectation is simply what you want to get out of something, like an outcome that you expect yourself to have or get or receive. What are the things that you're doing to actually live up to that? If you want to meet 4 new people, have you met 4 new people? Not yet. Okay, you haven't lived up to the expectation. Can you still live up to the expectation? Yes. But what are you doing to actually live into that? Defining success. Everybody's definition of success is different. If you get caught up in the defining success based on your buddies or your friends or your neighbors or whoever, the person you follow online. Even me, if you get caught up in my definitions of success, you are not going to be successful for yourself. And then health, ultimately, right? Health is at the bottom because health also holds up all of these things. If you don't have a healthy definition of success, healthy expectations, healthy communication, healthy leadership, the whole thing will fall apart. And health starts within. It's internal. It's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, relational. There are so many aspects to health. Now, a lot of times I'll talk about these things and people will get overwhelmed, right? Entrepreneurs, business owners are like, oh, I'm so busy doing this. I'm so busy doing that. I don't have time to step back. I don't have time to look for help or guidance or improve these things. And my simple answered response to that is, you don't have time to not. This isn't something you're going to change overnight. This isn't something that you build overnight. This is a process of living. The progress is in the process. A process of living is building this foundation. A process of living is trying to live up to these or live into these 5 pillars. So what I would encourage you today is twofold. Number 1, self-assess. Scale of 1 to 10. How are you with leadership, communication, expectation, success, and health for yourself? Sure, you can score yourself for others, but ultimately, you're not going to have a higher score for others than you do for yourself. So first, assess yourself. And then second, find someone that you align with. Find someone who can help you improve upon these 5 pillars. Maybe that's me, maybe that's someone else. Maybe that starts with yourself. Books, podcasts, resources, support groups, whatever it may be. But you need a foundation. You need to know what you believe in. You need to know what you stand on. Because the moment that first storm comes, if you don't know what you believe, if you don't know what you stand on, it's going to start to crack. That foundation is going to start to crack. Sometimes we get more storms than other times. Sometimes we get more intense storms than other times. If we start and we get a small storm and it puts a crack in that foundation, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, we never actually fixed the foundation, but we got slammed with a huge storm, financially, mentally, emotionally, or otherwise, do we actually think it's going to hold our entrepreneurial life? So, I challenge you to self-assess. I challenge you to find someone who's in alignment with you, who can help support your goals, your visions, your dreams. And then ultimately, I encourage you to step into a foundation. Step onto a foundation. Build something that you believe will hold up your life. Because I have done this in a sense of not being able to fully live into who I believe that I am because I didn't have all 5 pillars in check. And in check doesn't mean perfect. In check means I'm in the process of improving. So I encourage you today to improve. I encourage you today to take a step into building that foundation. And ultimately what you're going to find is that your leadership, your communication, your expectations, your success, and your health is what's holding up your life in your business. And as an entrepreneur, as someone who wants to own a business, as someone who maybe does own a business, without these tools, without these resources, without these skills, you're going to live a very frustrated and confusing entrepreneurial journey. So I hope this was helpful for you today. If you need help, feel free to reach out, send me a message, and get out there and work on that foundation. Talk to you soon.